All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of 20 to Midnight, the D&D stream where three players have to race against the clock. They want to save the world. My name is Gabriel Urbina. I am your dungeon master.
And my name is Beth. I'm playing Helena Hailstorm, a human fighter from the Veldrin Empire, and I am coming to you from London, London town.
And I am Emma Sherr-Ziarko. I am playing Cal, aka Calistoga Vance, a tiefling sorcerer from Bas Saranath, or Amar. And I am coming to you from, it keeps getting longer every time I intro. And I am coming to you from the land of enchantment, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
And my name is Mike Schubert. I'm playing Satus and Khartoum, a human bard from Kilmoltron, and I'm coming to you from New York City.
I'm also coming to you from New York City, no longer in an undisclosed location, but in my new apartment. The exact address of which is... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, also, I do have the stream pulled up, but for at least me, I just still have the black 20 to Midnight logo. I don't know if that's an issue on my end, or...
It looks like the stream is happening.
Okay.
Yep, I can also see us.
If
All right,
there's...
then it sounds like... Oh, there we are. Yep, it's just a me problem. Ha!
This sounds like a personal problem, Mike.
This is literally a personal problem.
If you could keep that.
Oh, I wonder if it was my my browser has like an ad blocker allegedly, and I wonder if it got all confused with that happening.
It's possible.
Well,
yeah.
Either way.
Also,
We're good. Oh no!
Oh no!
Get him out of the system. All 20s today, baby.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm just excited now that we're back to sort of our regular setup that I have music again. So this will be an episode that actually has a little bit of that Alan Rhodey magic sprinkled throughout it all.
Yeah.
Gabriel's gonna do this on every 11 or higher. Is that
Yes.
the nat 20 thing and any 9 or
The
lower?
the only musicless rolls will be 10s. Everything
10.
else gets
Yeah.
Alrighty. We have a ton to get through today, so let's get right into it. Right after just a very lightning quick blitz recap of what happened last session. Having been reunited with Volt, you guys went back to Starfall. You disguised Volt effectively, if horrifically, as Jeff the Elf. And went back to the sort of cathedral, to the moon goddess that is one of the three main gods in Amar. Having now been through sort of the preliminary challenge, you were allowed to go through kind of this gauntlet to prove yourself worthy of having an audience with this goddess and seeing if she could help you get rid of some of these problems that you were having. There followed challenges, you negotiated with a giant, you solved a long, cunning puzzle, you did all kinds of things guided by sort of this oracle fawn creature that lived in the cavernous depths below Starfall. And at the end of it, Cal sort of went down further into the depths and seemed to have kind of a meeting with this goddess, while Ren, the kind of oracle guide that was taking you through these trials, sort of, told Helena and Satus, let's go back upstairs and I'll get you a glass of wine while we wait for all that to get resolved. And
did you mention that I died again?
Yes, you had
Again.
The dark god that had for so much of her life been the source of Cal's magic and power, in a final kind of, don't make me hurt you kind of a gambit, took the life that he had given you back from you, causing you to have a heart attack. But fortunately, Volt was there to provide some on-site defibrillation. And after that, Cal once again arrived back into the scene.
Yeah. Handy, that dragon.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And so I think that we rejoin things in kind of that lovely night flower garden that was the first thing that you guys saw when you were led into the path of the stars. And Satus and Helena, you are sitting on these pretty comfortable rocks in the center of the garden, while Ren sort of pours you a glass of blueberry wine. You've been sitting there for probably about an hour. What are you talking about? Like, how are you passing the time as you wait?
Well, I think we have probably covered the cultivation of blueberry wine to some extent. Helena's
Yep.
always interested in things like that. And after that, maybe we just ask a little bit about this place. There was that interesting fellow we met last week who was surprisingly pleasant. I wonder if he could be lured out as well to share the blueberry wine.
Oh, the giant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you bring up that point, you will be told that there are some spatial problems with kind of getting him out here, but you can go and, like, hang out in his cave rather than hang out in the garden.
Yeah, I think
that sounds like a great time. Yeah.
Great.
Satus had such a great read on him.
Mhm.
Yeah, he really
Yeah.
did.
My good bud.
So you
Besties.
go and hang out with, what was his name? One moment. With Menhir, the giant. And yep, you talk a little bit about the cultivation of blueberries and how they ferment them and turn them into wine. They tell you a little bit about how this was a holy site, a place that was touched by the Night Star, and so when the church was built, it made sense for this to kind of be turned into sort of like a gauntlet for people that wanted to prove themselves to this particular goddess. And yeah, you kind of get a little bit of a lowdown at this place.
Great. Helena is taking notes in her journal about the blueberry wine, less about the other stuff. But great.
I have to say, Helena's
Satus is taking notes
priorities
all about the other
are
stuff.
always
Yeah,
incredible.
all the others. Yeah.
This is why
Good.
this is a
Well,
very
good
effective
account.
team.
Yeah. Yeah.
But after a little while, and probably like an hour 15, you hear this boom, the sort of, stone impact as a door closes. And poking your head into the hallway, you see Cal and Volt standing outside of the sort of first door, the one that you unlocked with the key that the giant gave you to go deeper into the path to stars. And Emma, how does Cal look? Does she look different than she did the last time that we saw her?
She looks mostly the same, except if you look very closely, her skin now has kind of like a sheen of scales to it, just a bit.
Uh-huh.
And her eyes have turned like bronze, like orangey bronze. While they were formerly no, they were green before.
We'll have to update all the art accordingly.
Yes, Mikaela. Yeah. Let's just let's commission a quick portrait real quick.
Excellent.
But other than that, I would say she mostly looks the same. Maybe a little bit lighter, a little bit less burdened.
I will say that your clothes, though they may be the same clothes, kind of have like a slightly airy quality to them now. If you're wearing a cloak, it seems to be slightly billowing behind you.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm back.
How'd it go?
Well, it went well. At first, I thought the Dark Denizen was back, but it was just the Night Star. Night Star, right? Yeah. Night Star. It was the Night Star, and she was giving me one last test. And then she we talked for a bit. She's, of all the gods I've met, which is 2, she's much nicer than
Good.
Yeah, I like her a lot. And we talked a lot about me and who I am and what I want from the rest of my life. And then Cal kind of looks at Volt and says, and I have this guy to thank for having a life. So my magic's a little different now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Ren will sort of chime up and go, but your magic is now yours. Now it's magic that you get from you. You're not leasing it from anyone else.
That's right. With a little help from my friend.
Well, that's so exciting. I mean, you look different. You look great.
Thanks. Here, touch my arm.
Okay.
Emma, Emma, it's worth saying that
Cool,
you remember very sharply the first little bit of your conversation with the Night Star, like up until that point that we ended the last stream with. And afterwards, you know that the content of the conversation is what you just described, like that is the nature of your talk. But at the same time, it already seems like kind of this warm, fulfilling blur when you try to like log in the details. Almost like your mind can't quite like hold on to all of it. And you know that what you just said is accurate, but again, sort of, you know, could you give a word-for-word transcript of the conversation? Not quite.
Great. It was more vibes.
It was a very... It was specific words in the moment. In your memory now,
Yes,
it's basically
yes.
just like a very
Yeah.
positive vibe for about an hour.
Yeah. Great. Great.
So now you're like Cal the Bronze and Shimmery.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ren will sort
It
of go,
is.
that's a great title. Don't you think, men here? And, you know, from further down the cavern, he's like, that is a very Mog title. Yes, I like it.
Thanks, Menhir, and thanks, Ren.
Well, this is awesome. This is kind of better than we'd hoped. This is yeah.
Yeah.
Ren will cock
I'm
an
not
eyebrow
gonna-
and go, what were you hoping? Like, what was the expectation?
Well, I mean, I guess we hoped something like this, but
Yeah, yeah.
but, you know, you just worry and yeah, this is good. This is good. And we didn't expect blueberry wine and friendly giants.
Ooh, you guys
Right.
got to taste the blueberry wine?
You've got to try some.
Oh,
It's
can
good.
I?
Actually, if I could
glass?
raise a point, Ren will go, I hate to be this guy, but you guys are standing on holy ground. If you are done with your holy purpose, perhaps you should be holy elsewhere now.
Touche.
Understood.
Fair.
Understood.
Cold.
Come back the next time that
Yeah.
you need revelations about your place in the universe and the way that the unwritten laws of time and space confound everything that has ever been known, and why art and culture and forward progress is the only way that humanity has any real way of dealing with any of this stuff. But until then, ta-ta.
Noted.
Thanks, Ren.
Thanks,
Thank
Ren.
you.
Really, thank you.
That's what we're here for. Take care now. And I think with that, we sort of, you know, the film of your adventure cuts to the stone elevator that took you into the depths, now, like, rising back up into the cathedral at Starfall. Is Volt once again disguised?
Oh God.
I mean, probably. Don't
Yeah.
right? Like we don't
Probably.
want the unwanted
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah, as much as we can avoid it. I think that's good.
Okay.
So it's a Jeff situation? Is that what we're saying?
I mean, it doesn't have to be Jeff.
could just-
It always
You
has
could
to be
throw
Jeff.
over a blanket over him and just be like, it's our winged dog
That sounds
who's
great.
very shy. Please don't look under the blankets.
Yeah.
I think it's Jeff.
let's give Jeff a try. It worked so well before.
Look, can't argue with the results.
Yeah.
I'm going to maybe argue with the results. Roll me an animal handling check and let me roll a performance check for Volt.
Okay. It's not bad. 16.
12.
15.
All right. Yep.
Pretty good jeffing.
It's maybe
Yeah.
only slightly worse than it was before.
It's a bit weirder.
Yeah. Again, like the main thing that gives it away as something weird happening is that there is not sort of that like fluid, all at once coordinated movement of muscles. It is very much like sort of jerky
Yeah,
movement. But yeah, sure. After a moment, the door.
Just remember,
teenage dragons.
Volt. Be cool. Be cool.
He will sort of, yeah, exactly. He will kind of turn to you like, crook.
Yeah.
That's done it.
Classic Jeff.
Classic
Sold.
Jeff.
After a moment, the doors will open, and you will see High Priest Oakhart as he pokes his head and goes, "Ah, you've made it back. And all 3 of you survived. That's terrific.
We did.
Congratulations."
You seem surprised.
Well, you
Okay.
never know. It is quite a daunting challenge.
Technically, I did
Yes.
die, but I do that fairly often. So
It's kind of a thing at this point.
yeah.
Well, you seem to be breathing
bad
now,
habit
so
we
I will
should
call
break.
that a win.
Yes.
Did you find the enlightenment that you were looking for?
I sure did.
Wonderful. And when can we expect you to come and lead the services in the masses of your new patron deity? I'm just kidding with you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Your face, Cap.
Listen, I like her, but we just met, really.
The Night Star appreciates a firm boundary.
Yeah.
It's the only way that she gets along with her brother, the Day Star. So the holy
Yeah.
teachings teach us.
Ooh, we did have that run-in with the Day Star.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
the church one
Yeah.
where I was not off
Yeah,
doing
where
something
Satus and I
else.
blew
yeah.
up a church.
Marvel editorial.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Marvel editorial note.
Allegedly.
Are you confused right now? This is because the players are referring to a pre-stream adventure where Emma and Mike blew up a church for the Day Star. If you would like to see that adventure, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/20tomidnight. And now, back to the present adventure. So, what is next for you folks?
Well, we were thinking about entering into the games.
You better hurry. The entry is happening right now, and they start in about 4 hours.
Whoa.
Okay, well, I
Okay.
know where we're headed.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
He gives you sort of, like quick directions for how to get to the Silkran Toll, the sort of big tower that is at the center of the city where the great games happen. And after that, you're off.
Okay. Great. Let's do this.
Fantastic.
Cal, what are we going to do about Jeff in the games? Is Jeff entering the games or
Turns to look at you.
I feel like Jeff could be valuable.
Jeff could definitely be valuable in the games.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're clear. Great.
You want to play, right, Jeff? Good, Jeff. Throw a little meat to him.
Oh, Lord.
There's a strange scarfing sound
Yeah.
from Jeff's feet. And for a
Yeah.
moment, his body, crumples sideways in a, spine-bending way before then,
Yeah.
popping back up.
Good job, Jeff.
So you're bringing Jeff along?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, where else?
Look, we gotta win.
Yeah, and we don't have anywhere to put him because, I mean, I don't want to walk all the way back out to Maeve's. I already bought a beholder. Right? It was a beholder.
Yeah. Or a spectator, technically. But yes, that's
A spectator,
a kind of
spectator.
beholder.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think he comes with us.
You could tell him to go back to the cave where he was hiding.
Listen, I feel very attached to him right now.
I
Your
don't
emotional
know what to
support, Jeff.
expect in the great game, but I just feel like having a dragon might be
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. I think let's take him with us.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Because also the time for discretion might soon be ending.
Exactly. Like, I
Yeah.
think we are rapidly approaching, I don't care if people know we have a dragon territory.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And in fact, we'd like to find the other 2 dragons.
Okie dokie. Well, you make it to the Silkran Toll, which again is sort of this like big spire with this sort of park plaza area in front of it. But the entire park plaza has kind of been cordoned off. It sort of looks like a stadium before a big concert where kind of like walls have been erected and they're sort of these like big banners that say, if you are spectating, go this way, entrance, go this way. And you quickly arrive at kind of this desk in front of kind of the participants only entrance where a older elf woman with what interesting look about her, Mike, is sitting.
Ooh, interesting thing for the older elderly woman. She's got like these glasses with like thick frames, but the thick frames are mirrors.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's like the outside. It's like, but not the lenses like on aviators. It's every other part is like a mirror.
So cool.
So this woman will look up to you and kind of go, all right, can I help you?
Yes, we would like to enter the Great Games.
Wonderful, wonderful. How many people in your party?
4.
Excellent. She'll take a quick note and write something down. Then she'll kind of go, can I have your names, please?
Sure. My name is Satus and Kurtun.
Mm-hmm.
And Helena Hailstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Calistoga Vance.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our friend Jeff.
Does he not speak?
He does not.
Oh. No. Okay. Well, all right then. Entrance fee is 5 gold per person.
Sure, yeah. We
Yeah.
have that, right?
Paid in advance.
Okay.
Yep, you do.
Cool.
Yeah, okay, great.
Cool,
We're
here's
the
20
worst
gold.
at keeping track of our money.
You left Boss Aernoth with like a decent amount of money.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, we
did.
float
We
between
did.
having enough to not worry about it and then so little we can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you were like, I'm interested in going to the pawn shop and buying the flaming sword of destruction, I would be like, we're gonna now need to do a quick audit of your resources and your assets. But for stuff like
we
this,
should get that sword.
Yes.
Swords!
Swords. I think Maeve owes us some loot. Given
Oh,
that
yeah?
we
You
didn't.
just think?
Well, we didn't kill her.
This is the second time you've said that Maeve owes us something because we didn't kill
yeah, that's
her.
some
And, like,
mafia
I
logic,
love you,
Emma.
Cal, but...
It's a real nice life you got here. It'd be a shame if somebody were to end it. Maybe you give us some free stuff and maybe we don't talk about this anymore.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay, this woman will go, what's your team name?
The Cavaliers.
Okay, very good. Excellent. All right, follow through the door. We're going to need you to fill out some more paperwork, just your usual standard, indemnification, loss of limb, loss of death, all that good stuff. Just kind of, all the clearance forms. And your
Awesome.
clearance for association with daimonic forces as well.
Association with what kind of
With
forces?
daimonic forces, honey.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
But then we're saying we are not associated with them.
No, as in because of the whole, staff of the fairgrounds and, the people that help to make the Great Games run, we need you to say on paperwork that you are okay with associating from forces of the ventral planes.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, keep moving, folks. Keep moving. We got to get through this line. Hi, welcome to the Great Games. Can I have your names, please?
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
She's already talking to the
Thank-
next
thank
person in
you.
line.
Yeah.
Cal, does that mess up with your stuff?
I don't think so. I don't think it
Okay.
should.
I don't really
Fine.
understand what just happened, but I'm sure
I
it's
think
fine.
the staff just come from another plane of existence, and
You are
Uh-huh.
quickly shown into the next room where there is long set of tables where various elves are talking to various people that you guess are the other participants in the Great Games. And a man waves you down. He is probably in the elf equivalent of his early 30s and has what interesting thing about his look, Beth?
I think his look is very smart and quite monochrome, except he has this sort of elaborate, very brightly coloured blotchy necklace that looks like it was either made for him by a child or given to him by someone who has very different taste.
Nice.
Excellent.
I need to know everything about
He
this.
will wave you over, and when you arrive, he will take a slip of paper that the older woman gave you and go, "All right, welcome the Cavaliers to the Great Game. I need to just get this paperwork all set up, and then you'll be good to participate."
Great.
Cool.
Okay, and he'll start pulling out forms and placing them in front of you. Let's start with the big one. The Wizard of the Silkran Toll and all associated parties are not responsible if the participation in the Great Games results in loss of limb, injury, loss of life, etc., etc., etc. It's your usual, release form. Take a look through it. I need you to initial every page after the first one and then sign on page 17.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Do we all have to initial?
Yep.
What fun.
Great. Jeff? Our friend here is illiterate.
He can just do an X.
Okay. You can just do an X, okay?
Jeff is pointedly staring at you.
Yeah. I'll help. I'll help.
Great, this is fun. We can all do it together. I bet we can make it into a game, see who can shine the pages fastest.
Yes. So I think
The elf man is looking at you a little bit oddly, and just kind of being like, "Could we maybe just have everyone sign their own paperwork? Just it really helps with the legal team."
Yes, sure.
Okay. He might just need a little bit of help, and I don't want to have to raise a discrimination suit against you.
Satus turns to Jeff.
Roll me an
and
intimidation
goes,
check, Emma. Before Satus turns to Jeff, I just want to get what this roll was, but don't forget what you're about to say, Mike.
Okay. Intimidation 17.
Oh. Problems
He will
come.
cower slightly and sort of go "All right, man, let's not get things out of hand. I'm only trying to do my job here." Mike, what were you going to say? You turn to Jeff?
turns to Jeff and goes, "You can do this, Jeff. You can write this X," and gives him bardic inspiration to draw an X.
Yes.
Okie dokie, cool.
Love getting our dragon in. We're gonna be punished, guys.
Really great use of our resources.
So I think that this is what happens. You're kind of intimidating this man into just, letting Jeff get some help when Jeff, looks down at the form, puts his foot up on the table, and uses the foot to knock the form down to the floor, and then proceeds to get down on all fours and kind of hover over the piece of paper. And you gradually hear the sound of pages being flipped over and scratchings of a pencil mark. And when, let's be real, probably 5 minutes later, Jeff once again rises to his feet. Every page has what we might call an X on it. Sure.
Well done, Jeff. Well done.
Good job, Jeff.
The man will slowly nod and go, "I see. Well, mercifully for the other forms, we just need a signature of a representative of the group. So we don't need to do that or ever talk about what happened again.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
We appreciate your amenability.
He will pull out another packet of forms and put it in front of you and go, this is the one that says that you acknowledge that you are aware that the Wizard of the Silken Toll employs imps and other devils and other demons at his command, and that most of the staff that is present and running the Great Games are going to be associates from the lower planes in some way, shape, or form. This does mean that you are going to technically be in association with demonic, and devilish forces, but we just need it on record that you understand this and that you are not then going to turn around and sue us for making you be quote unquote associated with demonic forces. Signature
Might
on the
sue
third
for
page
discrimination.
and the initial on every page after that, please.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Satus, would you like to do the honors? You've got the best handwriting.
Sure thing. Yes, of course. Great. Yes, happy to do so.
Literally signing your soul to the devils. Great.
Nah.
I guess I'm just from a very parochial background.
Gotta do what we gotta do.
Yep.
All right. After that, they sort of run you through a couple more just fairly generic forms. But finally after that, they will give you a little placard that says, your number is 17. You can go right on through to the waiting area and wait for Brimstone to come and get you.
Brimstone, huh?
They'll be your handler for the Great Games.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
It's quite on the nose, isn't it?
They all have names like that. He'll roll his eyes as he says that.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're
for your
welcome.
help.
He'll kind of give Jeff a bit of a strange look as the four of you walk away. Or let's be clear, as the three of you walk away and as Jeff lurches away. Okie dokie. You are then taken into sort of this kind of lounge area where the various other teams that are competing in the Great Games are all sort of gathered. And there's kind of, snacks, drinks, some couches, some benches, kind of little recreational area. And you sort of see the people that are here for the Great Games. Almost everyone seems to be some variety of elf, which makes sense since Amar is mostly elf. So about, by your quick count, you think that there's maybe 30 teams competing in this that are here today. Almost all of them, maybe sort of, 25 of them are different variety of elves. And you have some, teams that look like a group of bodybuilder elves, and you have others that look like three rangers together, and then some really studious looking wizards and all these things. A couple of other teams do catch your eye. There are some people you recognize Helena as wearing sort of colors that are Veldrin colors. 3 humans, 2 men and a woman. You recognize a group of orcs, and you recognize 2 groups of dwarves that are all kind of just in various stages of kind of either hanging around, waiting, or sort of, doing warm-ups, getting ready. What do you guys do? You still have some time to kill before the Great Games begin proper.
Do we see anyone that looks like they're from Soliana?
Roll me a quick perception check.
Okay.
21.
Dang.
What?
That's good, because I got a 6.
14.
Hanging out in a shadowy corner in the back, slightly out of sight. Not moving, not speaking, kind of just really standing stock still. You recognize 3 men wearing sort of, the traditional colors of the Solanese Navy with kind of these masks over their head that sort of only have like an eye slit and like hide everything else. And they are standing around and kind of looking around the room and then looking back to their other companion, Admiral Razak.
Wow.
All right.
That's an accurate noise.
Well, looks like they're here.
She will know we're here.
You hear a slight from Jeff.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll protect you from her.
Should we go say hi? Do we still have our tin hats?
I like the idea of not talking to them, but I wouldn't hate the idea of talking to some other people to, like, see what they say about the games, because we don't know too much about them, do we?
I feel like I know very little and,
Yeah.
like, not what to expect or... Yeah.
So I like the idea of small talking other folks away from them and trying to just kind of, like, see how much info we can learn from just like, oh, you excited? And then they'll hopefully say what to expect kind of thing.
Cool.
Right.
So I will say then, I think that like 3 people kind of immediately stand out as like candidates for you to talk to. There is this sort of, like very loud and boisterous dwarf that is kind of showing up his muscles to like a group of people and kind of being, these are the biceps that are gonna win the great game, and kind of getting, like the people around him pumped up, and his 2 sort of dwarven teammates are kind of cheering for him. There are 2 elves at a nearby table to you that are kind of just having this like quiet but somewhat animated conversation. And they're kind of doing the thing where they're both at a table, but they're on the same side of the table. So it would be very easy for someone to just kind of pull up to the other point in the table and sort of just like start a conversation with them. And in sort of like the far side of the room away from the Solanese contingent, there is this younger elven participant that right now just has like her nose in a book and is sort of like very like quietly staying out of everyone else's business. Who do you want to go talk to?
I feel like the elves at the half table feels like the most approachable first conversation. Though I am intrigued by lady off to the side that doesn't want to talk to anyone because it feels like she has secrets to tell us. But it feels like the elves are the most approachable.
Yeah. Yeah, let's start with the elves.
Unless we split up, cover more ground.
Ooh, smart.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right.
That's great.
I'll
Yeah.
take it off.
Yeah.
Who's going where?
I'll go with lady who doesn't look like she wants to talk to anyone, since I am statistically the best at talking.
Okay.
That's true. And I will take Jeff and sit at the table with the elves.
Nice.
And I would like to say hello to Muscular Dwarf. I speak Dwarvish. It should be fine.
Yes.
All right, let's start there, actually. Okay. So this guy's kind of just like, all right, everyone, that's it for the preview. Just get ready to see these muscles win. And then, he'll kind of, like turn around and chuckle to himself as he sort of, jauntily starts to walk back towards his teammates.
And Helena will go over and start talking in his language and say, hello, I'm a friend. I couldn't help but noticing you. I'm new in town and new to the games. Have you competed before?
Mighty Skyhammer, you speak the mother tongue. Oh, it is good to be able to actually speak properly to someone, not this, jibber jabber pitter patter that the fancy poncy elves here speak. What's your name, warrior?
My name's Helena Hailstorm. Well met.
Well
I'm maybe
met.
a little rusty.
I am Ergar of the Red Mountain. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Helena Hailstorm of the Veldran Empire. Pleasure to meet you.
You wouldn't happen to have some proper dwarven ale, would you? Everything they serve here tastes like a watered-down version of our weakest, most disappointing brew.
Oh, if only, my friend. I've got none on my person, but we ought to look into that later, see if there's anything we can do.
After I win the great games, you'll have to come by my table and I'll get you a proper drink.
If you win the great games, I would be happy to share that with you.
There's the spirit. That's a good girl.
Have you competed before? This is brand new for us.
This will be our 3rd year. This is my year. I can feel it.
Excellent. What happens in the games? We've heard tell of them, but nothing very specific.
Oh. All right. You're a bold one, just leaping into the unknown. I like that. Well, every year the games are a little bit different. The Wizard of the Silkran Toll, he always likes to shake things up, move things around. Can't make it too easy to try to predict what is going to happen. But in general, it's a series of challenges and puzzles and oftentimes even dangers that you have to overcome. The general theme is always that of a maze or labyrinth of sorts. Usually it is whoever reaches the central tower first wins the games. But in order to do that, there's a series of games that you have to get through in order to get there with the fastest speed.
Excellent. That sounds exciting.
It's
How
very
did it go
exciting.
last year? Yeah. Cheers to that. And how did it go last year for you?
Last year we came in 4th in our time. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because it usually ends up being a face-off between the 2 best teams. But this year we've been training. We are gonna go and we're gonna win this game.
Fantastic. Well, here's to that.
Yes,
I'm
here's
hoping
to
to
that.
survive.
Clank.
Clank.
I'm like rooting for this guy. I want him to win.
So my
Yeah, if we don't win, it better be him.
yeah.
He's got to come in second.
On the other side of the hall, Satus, you go up to this young woman that is reading.
Hi, I don't mean to bother you.
Then why are you talking to me?
I'll be frank. We have entered the games, and we've only recently got into town. We don't know too much about them, and you seemed like you might be knowledgeable on the subject.
Mm-hmm. And what makes you say that?
I don't know. I think because you're reading a book in the preparation room, seemingly unbothered by the competition, you feel like you are someone who is confident in what is about to take place.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Where did my... Oh, there it is. That is 19 plus probably a lot. That is 25.
She'll smile and even blush a little bit and go like, oh, well, that's very nice of you to say. And she'll, put a bookmark in the book and close it shut, and you'll see that it is something with a title like A Lifetime in the Clouds. This, famous romance novel that has been sweeping the nations that you are aware
nice.
of.
Nice.
And she'll kind of go, my name is Elora. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Laura. I love a good read, so I don't mean to intrude, but my friends and I are just quite. We're the opposite of you. We're very worried about what's about to take place. So any sort of knowledge about what goes down, I don't know. Have you competed in the past? I'm fascinated.
No, this is gonna be my first time. I've seen a lot of them. I'm local here. I go to the university on the far side of the town. But it's it's always a series of challenges. There's always a smart way to go about it, and a sort of brute force way to go about it. There's always kind of this dichotomy with the great games of it's either brains or brawn, and the more that you have of one, the less you need of the other.
Okay, all right. Are you competing in a group? Or are you competing solo?
Nope. No, oh my God. Who would be crazy enough to do the great game solo? No, I'm competing with that man over there, and she will point out an elf, and that man over there, and she'll point out sort of like a different guy that is getting a drink at one of these sort of, like water cooler tables.
Oh, okay. And is your group more of that brains category or the brawn, or is everyone bringing something different to the table?
I would say that, and she'll like discreetly gesture to like to the first person that she pointed to. We're kind of the brains department, and and Zaylor is a little bit more of the bronze department.
Okay, wow. Well, seems like you have a solid division of strengths. Should do quite well for you.
Yeah. You know what I'm not looking forward to is having to like deal with all the imps and the Silkran Toll's staff. They say that they can be very unpleasant.
Oh, okay. As like during the competition itself or
Yeah,
before things get started?
they're demons and devils, so they always just want everyone to have a horrible day and everyone to have a horrible time and everyone to just die. The wizard of the Silkran Toll has them under contract, so they have to do whatever he says, so they can't harm anyone, but that doesn't mean that they have to be pleasant.
Okay. So be wary of them mid-competition.
Just
for
don't let them
them
get under your skin. I've seen some people crumple because of that.
Okay. Good to know. I appreciate the advice here. Thank you for, kind of putting me at ease. I feel it's not going to be easy, but, it's nice to know a little bit more of what to expect.
Hey, of course. Best of luck.
You too. Best of luck out there, and enjoy the rest of the read.
Thank you.
Just wait till you get to the big twist in chapter 38.
Oh, this is my third time reading it. It is so good.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. It gets better with each reread.
And as they talk a little bit more about that, we will flip the camera over as Cal and Jeff arrive at the table. And the two elves will look up, and the man will go, "Well meant."
May I sit here?
Please.
Thank you. And I think I'm speaking in Elvish to him.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. How's it going?
The woman will say, just trying to shake off some of the nerves, this is always the worst part, just kind of the waiting for it to start, not knowing what's going to get unleashed upon us this year.
Yeah. What kind of things would you say have been unleashed in the past?
They exchange a look with one another, and then they're like, oh, all kinds of things. Obstacle courses, gladiator battles. There was that year with the whole Colosseum theme. And then the other person will kind of go like, yep. Last year there was all the stuff with the swimming and the underwater rings and the sharks. And the other person will kind of go, don't forget the speed chess. After that, there was sort of the Towers of Hanoi puzzle. Yeah, that one was really, really good. Mid-air collisions. It's all kinds of things, really. You never know what to expect. You kind of have to be ready for anything at the Great Games.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. My friends and I are new here, and we just thought, what the heck? We'll throw our hats in the ring.
One of them will say, like, that's really awesome, and the other one will go, are you crazy, at the same time.
Yeah.
Look at each other, and then I go like, how great for you. Yeah. That sounds like so much fun.
Yes. We're aware that we're both awesome and crazy, but how many people would you say get injured or perish in the
They exchange a look, and they kind of go, injured? 100%? Like, I don't know anyone that has not ever gotten injured. Perish, maybe half the people that go through the challenges. But most people that do this, they buy the resurrection insurance from, one of the street vendors outside. So, they're covered. Yeah, and the other one will go like, yeah, imagine coming in here without having a res set up and waiting for you. That would be crazy.
Yeah, the resurrection insurance, obviously. Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're kind of nodding like, oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, I think I've run out of resurrection insurance myself. Last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And Cal will kind of gesture at the Solanese in the corner. What do you know about those people?
Who? Oh, them. Yeah, they've got like the whole town abuzz. Rolled up around town. They've, look, we've never had Solanese people competing in the Great Games before. They kind of look military or like Black Ops-ish even. So the whole town is in quite a tizzy about them. They're one of the bookies' favorites to win, along with, and they'll point to like one of the sort of like burly elf teams, along with those guys. They won in last year, so they are expected to kind of be one of the like favorites to win this year. But beyond that, we don't know much that we can tell you. They kind of just like rolled up into town a couple days ago with a big splash. And since then, they've kind of just been keeping to themselves.
Seems suspicious to me. But who am I to talk? We just rolled into town ourselves, so... Well, my friends, as a good man once said, never tell me the odds. Cheers.
Good luck.
Thank you. Come on, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
After a moment, the lights in this room will start to dim a little bit. And the spotlight will appear kind of on this raised podium in the far side of the room. And this sort of magically magnified voice will boom through the space and sort of go, "Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have a moment of your attention." And you will see this very tall, very slender, elvish, like there's something about him that you can't quite place it. You're like, that is not quite an elf, but it sure has like the general outline of an elf. With skin that the more that you look at it has kind of this pale greenish hue. And he's dressed in these handsome green robes. And what other interesting item of clothing, Emma?
Ooh, I think he's wearing a belt that has like, what do you call that? Like strings hanging off of it.
Sure.
Almost.
Like fringe?
Yeah,
or...
like fringe.
Tassels.
Yeah,
tassels fringe.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. So he'll step forward and kind of go, "Thank you all for coming and participating in the great games. I am the wizard of the Silkrin Toll. I am thrilled that you have all decided to participate in our little adventure today. Please know that I expect great things of all of you. Great wit, great speed, great strength, great endurance. The challenges that we have set up may be some of the most difficult that any set of challengers have ever faced before, but I am confident that all of you can do it. Well, I'm confident that some of you can do it. Well, I'm hopeful that at least one of you will be able to do it. Meet me in the Silkrin Toll once this is over, and if you win, then me and my magic," and he will raise up sort of the spell book that he's been holding and just like lightly tap it. "We'll see about getting you whatever your heart most desires. Emma, quick insight check."
Right. 10.
Cool. All right, you're good.
Wow.
And he will go, "Your handlers will be with you momentarily. Do everything that they tell you, and just be reassured they have been given explicit instructions to not harm you and to be as helpful as they possibly can. Enjoy, and may fortune smile upon you today." And he will give you sort of, this light bow, and then almost instantly the image will start to fade away.
So we reconvene together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of share what we learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I learned is my dwarf friend is great, and we're going to have a drink if we survive.
That sounds great.
You glance over, and Airguard gives you like a little wave, like, "Yeah, friend."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I learned from the woman over there, Laura, just that, we're going to have a lot of different types of challenges, and there's different ways to approach them. So I feel like with between the four of us, we've got, four very different ways to tack on and tackle a challenge.
And
Yes.
I learned that we should have gotten resurrection insurance because apparently half the people die.
What?
Oh.
That sounds like a scam.
It does, doesn't it?
It feels like it would be a paperwork nightmare.
Yeah.
The fine print. When you get these insurance, there's all those stipulations where you can't actually get your money back. Like, maybe if it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
Is it something where if we die, we'll be automatically resurrected rather than dying? Is that what
I
that
think
is?
that's what it means. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's just try to be in the alive half then, I guess.
Yeah. And, if one of us survives, as long as one of us survives, maybe we can go, see Ren. Maybe Ren can help us. Or
Yeah.
Well, after the other three are dead.
Yeah.
Does anyone feel like we are playing a little bit fast and loose with mortality today? Yeah, Volt does. See me and Volt having second thoughts about some of this.
Well, I mean, we're here now.
Mm-hmm.
Think it's too late to get some of this scabby insurance?
At this moment, bang, a set of doors opens, and a flock of small red horned winged creatures with sharp claws and sort of these jagged teeth will fly into the room. And in short order, one of them scurries up to you all and goes, "Are you the meatbags known as the Cavaliers?"
We are the Cavaliers. We wouldn't call ourselves meatbags, but sure.
You seem to be pretty meaty to me. Hopefully soon you will be dead. I am Brimstone. It is my distinct displeasure to be your guardian and attendant today. Are you ready to begin?
I guess so.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Step this way and meet your
to
doom.
meet you.
Come to your doom.
Sure.
Very likable.
Yeah.
What an agreeable chap.
I'm just gonna say, in infernal, I'll say, thank you so much, Brimstone.
How dare you sully my tongue by speaking it to your filthy lips? This is yet another reason why soon you should be dead.
Excellent. Cal, you're such a linguist. I love it.
I know. Today I get to break out all my languages. All right.
I think on that
Worth a
note,
try.
let's take a 5-minute break before this properly kicks off.
New favorite NPC.
Yeah,
Hands down.
Yeah, we need him and that guy from the prison cell to hang out.
Yeah.
No, Victor.
Victor.
All right. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back with the start of the Great Games. We'll be back in 5.